that first game of today no longer matters.
He's one step closer with his victory over Oldskool over VPL in the last game. Up against Oldskool now, the draft underway. A lot more standard bans. Reza coming off the board. Going to be interesting to see how this shapes out.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to see the Reza ban come through here because it hasn't really been like a major impact player. We've been seeing it in the top lane for people like DNZio's played it a couple of times. It hasn't really been like a pick that I feel is ban worthy. I'm almost wondering if this is just Oldskool saying, you know what, we're gonna ban the Reza so that we have some of these other picks that have been getting, the Lorelai's been getting banned, the Vox has been getting banned. Again, one of those is gonna be let through here.
Inara coming off the board, though. I don't think we've seen her banned, but players are learning just how strong and how useful her kit is. The speed boost on her ult is insane. Essentially a war treads for 10 seconds, which is just so hard for anyone to try and deal with it. If you want war treads, you can try and counter a little bit, but they still have 7 seconds left on it. It is so long and so hard to deal with.
Vox is open. Vox has been banned in almost every game today, and Team Oldskool will be locking that in. Now we do have the Celeste, the Lyra, and the Lorelai are still available. It is going to be Celeste Lyra, so foregoing the Lorelai, saying, you know what, if you're going to take the Vox, you're likely not going to be running this Lorelai as well. So it's a bit of a bold move by Team DNZio if they can get that Lorelai for themselves, maybe. But again, they have Celeste. So it's not likely that maybe either of these teams end up with the Lorelai.
There are just so many strong heroes in the meta right now.
Do they take it?
These teams are taking risks. I mean, they have to. This is all or nothing for Oldskool. He has to win here if he wants to stay in the running. Otherwise, it's just DNZio's team going straight to the finals. So it's something that they're very much keeping in mind. They're very much aware of. They are going to go with the Lorelai. But how exactly does this fit into their composition now?
Yeah, as of right now, I'd be leaning towards it being a Captain Lorelai with that Vox in the mid lane, obviously the Ardent in the top lane, but that could change. The Churnwalker was another hover for them. It could be getting picked up by Team DNZio, but then, assuming that that would end up going in the jungle for them because they already have the Celeste and the Lyra, so likely to be the jungle Churnwalker for Team DNZio. They need to start getting, they need another carry. Silvernail, I think, would be really smart to grab him now because otherwise that's just leaving it open for Oldskool squad to pick up.
Even if they do take this Silvernail, I start to get a little worried about Team DNZio's mobility. They don't have the Inara on board like they did last time to get out of those sticky situations or just to engage and try and chase down the enemy team. All that mobility could actually give Oldskool a huge advantage here in this game.
It really could, and let's also talk about the fact that Flicker not showing up this time around. It was another one of those heavily contested picks, and well, there it is.
There
okay,
it is.
It looks like, I have to assume that this is going to be a Captain Lorelai jungle Flicker with the mid lane Vox, and they just need a weapon power carry to round out their composition for Team Oldskool. Kinetic has pretty much been the go-to when Silvernail is already taken, but their hovers are not looking towards a weapon power range carry hover.
Interesting.
This is going to be a very interesting composition.
I wonder if it's going to be a safe lane Arden in their bot lane carry. That's definitely an option that they might go with. Blanks is on that hero right now. He is the bot laner, so we might see that with the CP Jewel up in the top lane. Flicker jungle, and it would make it a Captain Lorelai.
Yeah, and now the concern for me switches from being for Team DNZio's mobility, and it's now to Team Oldschool's range. Because really all they have for range is going to be the Vox, obviously with the CP Vox, and then big red buttons.
That's it.
That's all they have for
Nothing else on top
Everything
of that.
else, you need to be right in your opponent's face.
Now, one thing that's worth mentioning as well is the last lock-in we just got there is a glaive. That's the first glaive we've seen locked in, I believe, in the whole Fantasy All-Stars tournament across every weekend.
I think in all of 3.8.
Maybe, yeah, quite possibly.
Seen much glaive at all in any competition.
Talk me through this pick. Like, where do you expect to see that going? Is it going to work out at all? Is that something that you can see working in a composition right now?
I'm guessing they're going to put it on Pekko. I think Pekko, if I remember correctly, has a little bit of history playing Glaive. It's a hero that if you find those rotations and you're able to find those ganks, it can be so strong and so effective and make or break the early game for your team.
Yeah, when we first got into 5v5, Glaive was one of the big split pushers we were talking about.
It certainly was. It's time to jump on into this one. Tiebreaker number 2. I'm going to give it over to Humanist and DNZio once more to take it away.
Now is the time to find out if Team DNZio can punch their ticket to the finals of this VPL Fantasy All-Stars Week 3. I'm Humanist, joined by DNZio as we get this game underway. And Oldskool ready to put up a fight off the bat.
Yeah, absolutely. Oldskool going to be playing this Vox once more, looking for the victory. Wasn't quite able to find it last time we played Vox. Into DNZio Celeste as well. Going to be a tough time for him. Do see Neonfire, though, returning to that duel. It was the one victory they got was when Neonfire was on duel. So
True.
I don't know if you believe in statistics, but that's one for one.
Clients, don't mean much to me. I am an American. I will believe anything I want.
What do you want to believe, Humanist?
I want to believe in DNZio, and that's going to be your first blood. As Oldskool able to find the kill on to Pekko Peppers there, and fairly easily, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I mean, Pekko kind of overextended on that Glaive here. Not going to be the start that he was looking for. Unfortunately, Glaive does have a bit more limitation to the mobility. Pekko clearly loves his mobile weapon power melee carries, and Glaive is the most old school of the lot that we've seen from Pekko so far. Do you have to be a little bit more respectful, though, of that cooldown?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we haven't seen Glaive for a long time. I borderline forgot about this hero, but, you know, maybe we've been sleeping on him, and we'll see what he can get done here. Obviously, going down as first blood, not a great sign, but I'm sure things will turn around.
Right now, not the start that DNZio's team wanted. First blood to Oldskool is definitely a good start if you're trying to find yourself in that opportunity of getting the winner stays on. Right now, DNZio's team is winner stays on. They're 1-0 in this round robin. A win here puts them into the grand finals up against T-Tigers. If they lose, though, then they are relying on a victory from Gabe Bizzle's team so that it can go down to fastest
Sounds like
win
a solid
time.
plan.
Solid plan. Rely on Gabe Bizzle.
Yeah, rely on Gabe Bizzle's squad to get the victory for you. No, but in all seriousness, these teams are both going to be coming for the victory. I'm leaning towards Team DNZio. They just have felt really strong as a unit, and Zio's looked good on his Celeste all day long.
Yeah, has looked good on his Celeste, and I mean, Zio's looked good on Celeste for a long time, but look at the damage coming out of Vox.
Hello. So this Vox combined with Splashdown, a water wall for damage, it feels like it's going to be pretty good.
I mean, Lorelei has so much base hit damage. It's actually Lorelei doing a lot of the work here in the early game. Shared talent. When he lands a fish food, also the auto attacks just does a lot of work. You get the slow coming forward from the pool of water as well, and makes things difficult for a very immobile mid laner like Celeste here. If Oldschool's then able to land some resonance bounces, even just the auto attacks base kit damage at this point is doing the job. Crystal Treant will be contested, and does look like Neonfire just secures that one away. That means they've got both of them here. Humanist, Neonfire, one in the top lane, and of course Oldskool, one in the mid lane. Really good stuff for Oldskool so far. It's actually a gold lead starting to develop for their team.
Pretty good stuff indeed, and we're dead even as far as net worth is concerned. 4 minutes in, 1-0 in favor of Team Oldskool. But we really haven't decided who has advantage in this early game. There's been no real trading back and forth. There's just that one kill, and it really didn't lead to too much overall. But now, as players are getting these hero levels, a couple items together, it does mean, you know, you get 1 kill, 2 kills. It will lead into getting some other objectives on the map.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Pekko in this top lane has to just be careful. The engage potential that can come through from an Ardent Flicker, very good at punishing melee heroes like the Glaive, which means Pekko is basically playing defensive, waiting for his afterburn to come back off cooldown constantly. And meanwhile, in the top side, Papa John and DNZio are just constantly putting pressure onto Neonfire, who can't really clear the wave quick enough to stop the damage on this turret.
No, he really can't. He's going to be okay, though. Really just worried about getting to that level 6, getting that big red button, and rotating with your team to try and make some plays happen. We're 5 minutes in. River Shops have arrived, and Shaded Talent and Old School arrived at that bottom shop at the perfect time to go ahead and pick up an AC for Old School, and then right back to lane. Top turret did fall. As you said, Neon Fire couldn't handle the pressure. Bottom lane, Delphi and Blanks continue to aggress onto Pekko. Pekko forced to use that afterburn defensively over and over as expected. But things, no kills really coming through. As I say this, DNZio caught out, throws a Solar Storm. He's going to try and kite over towards his team. Wait for it, over the top. No, wait for it, got the kill. It's been a while since I've seen that happen, but it's nice to see. Old School looks like he goes down. Evil needs one more chain of attacks. 1-2. The 1-2 combo. Able to get that kill. 3-1 in favor of Team Old School when it's all said and done as they rack up a bunch of kills there.
Yeah, look at this top bot lane turret. It's still surviving. DNZio and Papa John with the lane swap here to put pressure on. They might even find kills.
Will they? Trespass used. Stakes are down. Yeah, they got it. He's going to slap him right into the wall. It would have been dope if he went flying over that waterfall and off the edge of the map.
I mean, this is something you see in other MOBAs when you have the pressure. I'd love to see it start to become a bit meta in Vainglory. Once you start to win your lane heavily, lane swap into the other lane, push down that second turret, put your solo laner up against the other solo laner. Because your solo laner has been doing better, chances are they're going to be able to take it out. But, it just hasn't quite become a thing yet here in Vainglory. I just think that it's potential for goal, but maybe who am I to say what is right, what is wrong? It seems like Neon Fire is going to get a lot of damage down onto this top turret as a result.
Yeah, Neon Fire will commit to this. I will see if he loses his life. He has to make some interesting moves here. It feels like he will just be pinned in. Papa John can pretty much deal with him. Lulu makes the rotation to get the kill when they want to go ahead and lock that down for sure. Neon Fire silenced up by the stakes. Costly blessing there. Shaded Talent tries to give him that splashdown. Big Red what? Big Red what? That's just going to put it on cooldown there.
They used Crucible just in case. They were actually pretty concerned that Neon Fire might find a kill. Wouldn't want to risk it.
Evil, slapping Shaded Talent there. I guess the thing is, like, the cooldown's not incredibly long on that. And he's going to respawn 30 seconds before he can use it again. That's probably by the time he's made it back out into lane or wherever he wants to get to.
Yeah, Big Red Button kind of has a pretty short cooldown, especially once you get that Clockwork online, which I'm sure we'll see soon coming out of Neon Fire once he finishes his Shadow Glass, I assume. Got that Eve of Harvest ready, though, for Old School. Going to have a lot of sustain now available after the alternating current.
Mooncloak. Delphi trying to get onto Zio. He's going to turn around and get onto Papa John. Nice trespass over the wall. And he'll go ahead and recall back there. Cheeky little play. And looking like they're playing with some style.
Definitely playing with style here. And Old School's team, they want this victory. They want to take it home. Ooh, their extension?
I wonder what you were doing there. Interesting play. A nice defensive move by Neon Fire to peel for Old School. But Old School not worried about this. He's got his AC, Evo Harvest. He's just going to hang around. This guy, he's just farming creeps, hitting people, letting these attacks fly and bounce, and having a good old time.
Yeah, absolutely. They are currently having a good time as far as Vox is concerned. Vox tends to fall behind Celeste early in the game. But right now, it seems like Old School's been dominating the pacing.
Look at his last hit.
Really
77 last hits for Old School to the 60 of Zio.
Yeah, it's huge. Huge gold deficit in the mid lane, and it's really playing into the power that Team Old School have right now. DNZio just hasn't been able to get online. This is probably his poorest performance so far of the night.
Old School. He may be able to start to bounce onto Papa John. Now the hook and chains are there. It's going to be a contested ghost swing, but it does go over to Arden when it's all said and look at this. People just evaporating. Pekko is going to be the first to fall. Looks like, does Delphi? No, Delphi's going to be fine. And this was a 5 versus 4 because Lulu stayed on the top half of the map, and it'll be worth it if he can get this turret. The question is, will he?
Yeah, I mean, you got the rotation already coming from Delphi, and Neon Fire's not too far behind, so he won't be able to. Meaning that the Ghost Wing does head on over to the guys in blue. Old School almost getting a kill for himself, but not quite able to secure that. And now fully healed up from the fountain as well. Pushing this wave in, DNZio is actually out of energy, so there's not really much he can do, and has to basically fall back, try and last hit these from a range. But I mean, look at the damage Old School's doing to the turret as we speak, and with Delphi coming in, it's just even more threat. So far, so good. Old School's team are pushing their advantages further and further down the throats of their opponents. We'll have to see if they can continue this snowball as this game continues into the mid game.
Yeah, Team Oldskool looking really good right now. They seem to be one step ahead when it comes to rotations, finding kills, and team objectives. And as we say that, Peko forced back with a defensive afterburn down in this bottom lane as the pressure mounts here. Delphi and Blanks look like they fully committed. He doesn't have another afterburn. That's going to be the kill. Arden credited with that kill. And with Oldskool and Shaded Talent in the river, these guys could just push this bottom lane or collapse back into mid, I guess, is the call. As there's a nice, small opening. Team DNZio gets some nice chunk damage onto that T1 turret. Mooncloak, though. Team Oldskool moving on here. They have attacks, resonance bouncing. Zio first to fall, looking for Evolve second. The trespass stun not going to be enough. Papa John, he falls. That's 3 borderline easy kills. Lulu will find the knockback, but he's pretty much left to his own device over here, and this will be him going down. Maybe he trades one. Nope, not gonna happen. What the nuts just happened? Because honestly, Team Oldskool just ran over Zio's squad here.
Yeah, DNZio's team are non-existent right now, and as that all happened, of course, it's Blanks taking that bot lane turret, just pushing it further and further. The salt in the wound, realistically, and now it's going to be this tier 2 in the top side under threat as well as Neonfire and Delphi make work of it. Gold is just falling apart here. DNZio's team's not able to keep up. It's just been a snowball ever since Peko died, and giving that Oldskool just that really small advantage at the beginning of the game. And since then, they've been able to keep it up. Shaded Talent on this Lorelei, you're kind of seeing why Lorelei has been such a consistent ban so far. It really does feel like the bans from this game from Oldskool was really focused on Peko. Try and take him off Reza, try and take him off Inara, and just really force him onto a pick that he's not as comfortable on. I mean, Peko's kind of known a little bit for his one-tricking ability, and when he does put time into a hero, he becomes one of the best in the world at that hero. But right now we're seeing him on this glaive, and there's just been no impact so far from Peko.
Yeah, not a lot of impact. I mean, I think he was in a situation it was going to be hard to do well in, but on top of that, Team Oldskool have just been playing well. So, and this is a hole he's going to have to dig himself out of if they want to try and find the victory. Down 7k net worth or so at the 12-minute mark of this game. And looks like Black Claw is going to be on the menu rather shortly here for both of these squads as they start to get up in here in this area. Papa John he's just dead. Papa John's gonna die. Gauntlet drops up in the lane as Neonfire will find Silvernail. Lulu's gonna be dropping as well. 2 easy kills. Team Oldskool. Look, I mean, it looks like Team DNZio is about to just surrender this game.
Yeah, no, this is kind of ridiculous so far coming out. Oldschool's team are just unstoppable here, pushing down this mid lane. Oh, they might actually find a kill.
I think they're gonna get it. Zio's tilted. I think this game is over. Look. I just looked up at like the player cams. Oldskool looks like he's just sweating. He's just playing super sweaty.
Oldschool's on fire right now, dude. And DNZio, unfortunately, is the tilt
So
is real.
California.
So is California. Yikes. We're in there.
Oh.
Yeah. It's strange times to be alive is all I'm saying, Oldschool. Humanist here.
Well, you can call me Oldskool if you want. I'd be quite
call you
confident.
I mean, I'm actually just talking to
Oldskool.
Oldschool. What the fuck? What the heck, Humanist? Like, I'm talking to Oldschool here. No need to interrupt, pal.
Oh, my bad. Oldskool. Yeah, he's disconnected from the call, so we can continue our conversation now.
Okay, cool.
Dowsy. Back to the main subject, which is Blacklaw pushing down this mid lane. And Zio's squad's gonna have to make so. Oh, Zio, is he gonna die to one big red button?
Oh my god.
You just got wrecked, full. Neonfire's fans will clip that, tweet it out, drop it in your community Discord, because DNZio just got smashed by one big red button. And with that, Team Oldskool will just fully break the base. They're in deep, looking to close it out, bounce a couple resonance attacks off Peko onto the rest of his team. They kind of kite back against the wall. Peko isolated, trying to make the hero play. But of course, nobody can back him up, and he can't do it by himself. He is down. The team has fallen apart. This game looks like it's going to be over. I hesitate to call it because it could always be a throw, but big red button over the top of the Vein Crystal means they will find the victory. 14 minutes in, 14 kills. Kill a minute is the story of our tiebreakers so far.
Yeah, really quick game coming out of Oldskool, and that could be the deciding matchup in this round of Robin. Oldskool take one over DNZio. Now they can take down Team Gabe. They will be facing T-Tigers in the final.